Coming up on TekThing, Apple's got an iPhone 10, a new watch, and a 4K Apple TV, and a whole bunch of poop emojis. Equifax got hacked. What do you do next? Google's crisis map, and heads up gamer Shannon's reviewing the Razer Basilisk. All coming up on TekThing. Thanks to our patrons at patreon.com/TekThing. They make it possible for us to bring you the show each and every week. Become a part of the crew at patreon.com/TekThing.
I'm Shannon Morse.
And I'm Patrick Norton.
And this is TekThing, where we have something new in every single show.
And today we have a whole bunch of new Apple products.
Yes, we do.
And a gaming mouse.
Yay!
And ponies.
Ponies?
Actually, we don't have ponies, we have poop emojis.
Oh.
No.
I got really excited there for a second. I was like, ponies! Yay!
Poop and emojis.
Okay. I'm assuming this is from Apple's thing this morning?
Yeah, it was a big Apple event. iPhone 10 or X, which they call 10, but everyone wants to say X. But in any case, iPhone 10, iPhone 8, you can think of it as the iPhone 7S, the Apple TV 4K, and Apple Watch Series 3. Big day for Apple in the new Steve Jobs Theater. This is what the hands-on area at the Steve Jobs Theater looks like after an event. Harry McCracken took this shot. People are swarmed and going berserk trying to get hands on all the new shiny.
Of course they are.
Of course they are. I mean, that's the exciting part. This, by the way, that circle around the menu button, that is the subtle redesign to the Siri remote for the Apple TV 4K.
Ooh.
I kid, but I was actually amazed on Twitter while the feed, the presentation is going on.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Like Jeff Kanata, We Have Concerns with Anthony Carboni. Amazing podcast.
Great guys.
Fantastic podcast. Yes, and they are nice human beings. Snarky at times.
It's very snarky.
Brilliantly snarky. But he was saying how much he hated that remote. And I was like, it didn't really bother me, but it's like he hates it with a fiery passion of a thousand tons.
Yeah.
But he's like, he was all about the redesigned remote, and it was like the subtle redesign. There's like a white circle around one button.
That's it?
Well, it might be raised to make the button easier to find. If you use an Apple TV, you might be feeling it.
Okay.
But you know, it's Apple TV's finally getting into the 4K arena.
Yay!
Both
About
Dolby
time.
Vision. Yeah, actually, way I think overdue. You know, Dolby Vision HDR10, which is a smart choice. They've got their fantastic A10X Fusion chip from the iPad Pro.
Cool.
And what's interesting for me is they're going to be offering HD and 4K movies at the same price. And Apple says they'll upgrade your HD titles to 4K. And that's assuming there's a 4K version. Apparently they're going to be like 4K for everyone. And you get 4K, and you get 4K, and you get 4K.
Okay, Amazon Prime, can we get on this bandwagon and like give me an upgrade to 4K? Because that'd be nice. That'd be real cool.
I mean, it's interesting to me, as somebody that spends a lot of time looking at set-top boxes, right? Apple TV is certainly was kind of feeling it from Roku. Yeah. And when Roku started putting their operating system in the televisions, then Apple TV started getting less relevant.
Right.
And Apple TV wants to remain relevant, so the Apple content remains relevant, so they can like basically negotiate for content rights for the iTunes store.
I see. That's a good move.
Yeah, and apparently they're also going to be bringing Amazon Prime Video's 4K content to the Apple TV later this year.
Cool.
We're still waiting with bated breath for the Amazon Prime app on the Apple TV.
Yes, that's true.
You can't quite see it, right? This is the Apple TV app, but they're basically saying, I couldn't really find a good picture of it. A lot of sports ball is going to be happening on the Apple TV this year.
Oh,
local
really?
news and sports for like 7 countries.
Wow.
And a big drive on live sports. So I can say, watch the Oakland A's, or what's the score of the sports ball game, and then Siri will be like, blah!
That's awesome.
You know, and
I like that.
Yeah, and then in terms of the app, right, you know, if you give it your preferences, it'll be like, okay, this is the next game coming up, and it'll put it in your schedule of potential things to watch. Okay. I'm not a huge fan of the Apple TV app, but I understand that it works.
I'm sure lots of people are, though.
It's a weird one.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I like my Roku.
What she said.
It's my baby.
I spend a lot of time watching on Apple TV, spend a lot of time watching on Roku. Most of my content's tied up in the Apple TV.
Yeah.
In any case, $179 for the 32GB version, $199 for the 64GB version.
Cool.
You can order on September 15th, and they will be shipping on September 22nd.
Nice, pretty soon.
That's a theme, by the way.
Ooh.
Apple Watch Series 3. best part about this, built-in cell phone, as in making calls without carrying your iPhone around in your pocket. It'll share your number with your iPhone. They actually demoed, it was really crazy, they actually demoed a phone call with a woman named Deirdre who was stand-up paddleboarding in the middle of what I think was Lake Tahoe, right? And so of course they had a boat and a camera on the boat, but what they said was that it was Deirdre's, you know, Series 3 Apple Watch that she was making the phone call while paddling. So,
oh, cool.
You know, I noticed it wasn't a real...
So it had its own cellular service.
Yeah, that's it. That is the big news. There is a radio. It is a cell phone. This watch is now a cell phone.
That's awesome.
It is. Apple seemed way more excited about the fact that people can stream 40 million songs from Apple Music on the Series 3 without having to have the iPhone nearby.
Does that mean that you could use it even if you have an Android?
You're going to need an iPhone 6, I think, for the initial. You're going to need an iPhone 6 or greater to configure it.
Oh, okay.
So.
Well, never mind then.
You can
never
get
mind.
an iPhone.
They're cute. They are the nicest looking e-watches on the market right now.
And they have a new, they're like 70% faster dual-core processor, 70% faster at some things. A new band, a new nylon band design that I really like, where it wraps around. Hopefully it'll actually be big enough to wrap around my wrist.
Right.
Siri can talk to you for the first time on the watch. It's got a new barometer and altimeter built in. They say it's pretty much the same thickness as the Series 2, like a couple of sheets of paper difference. Yeah. So basically no difference. Series 3 is going to be $399 with the cellular modem built in, $329 without. And they're going to keep the Series 1 in the lineup for $249 and the entry level.
Okay, cool.
September 15th order, September 22nd shipping.
Again,
it's a theme, kids.
Alrighty.
So if you take a look at Apple's iPhone webpage, right? So this is current. The iPhone SE, the iPhone 6S, the iPhone 7, the iPhone 8, and the iPhone 10.
Wow.
Yeah.
They skipped 9?
Everybody skipped 9. Well, they skipped Windows 9.
Oh, yeah, that's...
Probably because they wanted to just differentiate it as hard as possible from Windows 8.
I guess so.
There are a lot of iPhones now. The iPhone SE starts at $349. The 6S starts at $449. The 7 starts at $549. The 8 starts at $699.
And the 10?
The 10 is going to start at $1,000.
Oh, no. The rumors were true.
$999.
Ouch.
Oh, it gets crazier than that.
Ouch.
It gets crazy. So this is the iPhone 8, and they are very excited about the new glass and aluminum design, Retina HD displays, the A11 Bionic chip, they are really excited about the glass design here. In theory, there were pictures. Wow, apparently the website's getting hammered so hard, the photos aren't showing up anymore.
Or it's our internet connection.
Crazy. No, our internet connection is ninja. It is badass. So yeah, so new single and dual cameras, but they're still 12 megapixel. They were really excited that we support portrait lighting, so you can adjust lighting later on. But the big deal though is with that glass enclosure comes wireless charging. Oh, and the other thing they were excited about was augmented reality, the AR kit stuff.
Yay!
Yay!
AR is fun.
AR is fun. They had a really cool game demo, and the other thing they had, it's my personal favorite, is they used the AR kit to overlay a star map so that if you were looking in your backyard, you could see like the outline of trees, you could help use that to sort of aim the star map at the sky.
That would actually be really useful.
It would be really useful.
For things like the eclipse.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, it's the 7S. It's the iPhone 7S, but they're calling it the iPhone 8. 64 gigabytes is $699. 256 gigabyte version, well, we'll know when we can actually order it. The iPhone 8 Plus, $799 for the 64 gig version, and the 256 gigabyte version, we'll find out when they put it up for pre-order on September 15th. Okay. And again, delivery on the 22nd.
Alrighty.
Yeah, the big news.
I feel like the big news would be the iPhone 10, though. That's the one everybody's talking about.
Look at it. It's pretty. Glorious.
I love that screen. That's really cool.
And there is no home button.
Oh.
Yeah, they basically did this as a one more thing. Yeah, the home button is gone. Logging in with your fingerprint's gone. It's $999, glass front and back, surgical grade stainless steel for a continuous surface. They're very excited about that. You can look at the edge here. They're really excited about that stainless steel and glass.
Yes,
and
they are.
Like medically sealed and medical stainless steel, and it's dust and waterproof.
That's some serious fancy pants.
Dust and water resistant.
Oh, yes.
It looks, I mean, it looks absolutely gorgeous, right? Super Retina OLED edge-to-edge screen. Like I said, the home button is gone. It's their first OLED screen. OLED screens are fantastic, which is why Samsung uses them. They were kind of like, we gotta show you how to use this, right?
Yeah.
So you can tap on the screen to wake it up, or you can do the raise to wake thing.
Oh, okay.
You swipe up from the bottom to go to the home screen, because apparently they were worried people wouldn't be able to figure out how to get to the home screen because there's no home button.
Yeah.
So even in the middle of the demo at the Steve Jobs Theater, they're like, just swipe up from the bottom and you go to the home screen.
Got to train them early.
Yeah.
No, not everybody is going to read the little guide that comes with the phone.
True. Although in theory, the phone should walk you through it when you start it up.
It should.
We'll wait to see if any of our friends buy one and show us what happens. The big thing, the big thing, right, with that home button being gone, is that they are doing Face ID.
Face ID.
Face ID, and people
are. Is
that
like Samsung's thing or Windows?
Well, yeah, Windows Home actually is probably the big one, right? So here we have a person staring at a phone, and the idea is that the iPhone is locked until you look at it with your eyes open. There's an IR camera in there, and it creates, you can just kind of see it here, it creates this massive dot pattern that a neural network checks it against your stored identity. Takes like, it was funny, they talked about when they were creating the whole technology for this, they did like 1 billion images. They scanned like zillions of people. Which also led to one of the funniest lines I've heard in a long time. Unlocking your phone is just amazingly intuitive. I just could not stop laughing at that. You know, and it's with having the IR camera and the neural engine and the super fast processor also means that you can do things like select a mask that tracks your face in real time. And where did it go?
Pick it up on your screen.
There we go. So you can select a mask and it'll track your face in real time for, like, you know, in Snapchat.
It's like Snapchat.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it.
Literally they actually had like Snapchat masks, and then they have what you're looking at right now. It's like an Animoji.
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 What is an Animoji?
An Animoji is an animated emoji that talks.
Oh, okay.
Including
definitely need that.
Poop emoji.
Oh.
Which I have a screen
So we can have
of.
a talking poo?
We can have a talking poo. You can have your voice with a talking poo.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Best part of the entire announcement.
Best part. It was so odd. So yeah, they're claiming it'll last 2 hours more than the iPhone 7. It's interesting to look, because they that kind of true depth camera, they were getting into the whole idea that this is a, you know, this is a big deal, right? Again, portrait mode, portrait lighting produces impressive studio quality lighting effects. The idea that you could go in and manipulate images later on to change the lighting as if you were playing with lighting in a studio. You know, they were all over portrait mode. Apparently they want all the selfie people to be using an iPhone 10 with a true depth camera. Again, battery life, they're claiming 2 hours more than the iPhone 7.
Okay.
And the other thing that came out was the AirPower wireless charging pad.
Is this for the phone, since it's wireless charging now?
Oh, it's not just for the phone.
Oh.
It's not just for the phone. They're basically claiming, so it's using the key, so the iPhone 8 and the iPhone 10 are using the key charging system, right? So basically they're using an open standard charging system for the phone, which I think is smart, right? So you can use it in Starbucks, you can use it in the hotels.
That's cool.
You can buy accessories for it already.
Yay.
And then they said in 2018 they are revealing this, and you can kind of just barely see this oval back here. That oval back there is the AirPower wireless charging pad. So you'll be able to charge your iPhone 8 or your 10 and an Apple Watch, like a Series 3 Apple Watch.
Are those AirPods?
And AirPods.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, well, you got to get the new optional wireless charging case.
Oh, right, of course.
And my understanding is that multi-charging a whole bunch of devices on one pad is a new thing. But it's a nice idea that sometime in 2018 you'll be able to throw all of your Apple stuff onto your pad and charge them all simultaneously.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I also like the fact that I thought it was really amusing. If you look at the picture of that, they basically show you the charging status of the phone, the watch, the AirPods, and the charging case, so you can figure out whether or not all of your gear is charging yet.
Okay, cool.
We did not go really in depth on this because it was 2 hours, and we didn't want to spend 20 minutes talking about everything on the show this week.
Very long.
If you got a question, or if you're kind of curious about some of the announcements, and a lot of people were kind of disappointed. Like, you know, okay, the telephone camera 2.4, but it very much sounded like a 7S and then a really, really nice 8. Yeah. 7S 8. I'm very, very curious about the true depth. I'm very, very curious about the facial ID recognition. one of the things that came out, people are like, the police will be able to just point your phone at your face. And it's like, well, if you can hit the phone 5 times, it goes into this like dial 911/lockdown your phone mode.
Right.
But then you have to get to hit the phone.
You have to be able to hit it 5 times. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like there is another brand that's doing that already, but I wasn't able to find the info before we recorded.
So I'm curious.
Me too.
$1,000.
Yeah, that's
I'm guessing $1,100 to $1,200. Well, I'd probably say $1,100.
It's an expensive phone after taxes.
$1,300. I'm guessing $1,300 for this 256 gigabyte version.
Yeah, sounds about right.
We'll
Let us know if you have any questions. Ask at TekThing.com, or you can tweet Patrick, our in-house Apple guy.
I am for Apple Dude.
Or if you have Android stuff, at Snubs. The Razer Basilisk just came out in the United States, and I got my hands on one of the very first ones out of the warehouse. Like, I bought this, and it shipped from China. It's that new. So they don't even have them here yet. They are just shipping from the warehouse.
Can I say how delighted I am that this does not look like some sort of space cruiser with sharp, pointy edges that are guaranteed to make my hand feel miserable?
Alienware laptop, which is totally ironic right now, I know.
No, there's no. I'm just thinking of this one mouse I tried where it was literally, there was no comfortable way to hold it.
Oh yeah,
right?
I've seen those too.
When you're wearing a gaming headset and it's
weird.
They were going for some sort of space-fi look. It feels nice in the hand though.
It does, yeah. So this thing is brand new. It's $70 and it's their FPS gamer-centric mouse. So it features 5G optical sensor with 16,000 DPI capability.
That's really
So
high.
yeah, why is that important? Well, DPI, it stands for dots per inch, measures the dot intensity for printing or video. When it comes to gaming, DPI sensitivity is a big deal, especially with FPS. More on that in a bit. So DPI sensitivity allows you to increase or decrease the speed of the mouse pointer on the screen depending on how fast you want to move your hand. So if I turn my DPI settings up really high, that means that just a little teeny movement from my hand would swing the pointer from one end of the screen all the way to the other. So really, really fast. Right. But if I turn it down, for example, to a really low DPI setting, that low DPI setting would allow me to make really minute adjustments by requiring me to move my hand much farther from one end to the other to get it from one end on the screen to the other. So lower is better for minute details. In gaming, having adjustable DPI is really great. So a high DPI is really nice for FPS gaming. So if you are, for example, using a sniper rifle with a scope and you want to get a headshot, you might want to slow down that DPI for a bit so that you can, catch up with the character's breathing style or their small, minute, realistic movements, because a lot of games have a character that moves like this while you're using a sniper rifle. Clever. So it's really hard to get a headshot. So if you slow down that DPI, it's much easier to move along with their breathing abilities.
Because the mouse isn't going like...
And then you can get your headshot. So lower DPI can help me get a very detailed in editing, pixel by pixel, for example, if you're not a gamer. So DPI settings are really important for Photoshop people, for editors, like if you're in Premiere Pro, for example, because if I had that faster DPI setting, it would screw up my edits if I'm not able to go pixel by pixel. So this one has an adjustable scroll wheel on the bottom, which I've never had on a mouse before, but I thought it was so cool. It allows for changing the resistance of the mouse scroll wheel on the top. So you can hear it clicking when it's really high sensitivity, but I can adjust it so that it's lower resistance, and then you can't hear anything because it's a much smoother scroll on the mouse on the top of it. So whether you prefer a smooth scroll or a clicky one, it's totally up to you, and you can change it with the resistant scroll on the bottom. There is also a removable clutch on the side of the mouse.
Mouse clutch.
It's a mouse clutch. So it's set to lower the DPI settings temporarily by holding it down. Ooh. And then when you let it go, it returns the DPI to your normal settings.
I like that.
So currently I have this one with a little rubber tab stuck in the hole, but it comes with 2 different metal clutches. And all I have to do is take this metal clutch, and I'll get a close-up for you too. I stick it in that little hole, and then when I'm using it, I can just squeeze down on that clutch with my mouse for a second and lower my DPI settings, and as soon as I release it, it'll go back to my regular DPI settings. Nice thing too is if you have Razer Synapse installed, of course you can customize it with your settings. So you can set it to push to talk function in the game, so you don't have to push something on your microphone, for example. Or you could use it to change a weapon, or whatever you want, pretty much. And there are 2 different lengths for the clutch for different hand sizes. I would probably need to use the longer one because I have shorter hands, but if you want to, you can also use the shorter one, or Or if you don't want to clutch at all, it does come with a rubber tab that you can stick in that little hole too, so that it's not used as a button at all. Apparently this mouse is good for 50 million clicks according to Razer's website, and it comes with 8 programmable buttons all through Synapse total. There is a profile button on the bottom that allows you to change profiles with different kinds of settings, and there's a little LED light that tells you whenever you have that profile setting turned on. And it also comes with the same RGB chroma lighting like the other peripherals. It's just slightly heavier than my older mouse, which was the Death Adder by Razer as well. The Death Adder. So this one's 107 grams instead of 105 grams.
Oh, it's heavy.
Just like the other items, again, this one also has the braided cable, just like their keyboard and all the other mice, and the Razer Firefly mousepad too.
I love that you can set it up like, you know, you can use the profiles button, just like set it up for this game or that game
totally
or this
can.
app or that
Yeah,
app.
if you want to, yeah, you can change like all the buttons on this thing if you want. You could screw up somebody's computer if they left it unlocked and open up Razer Synapse and change all of the mouse settings so that when they get back on it, it's completely screwed up. I wouldn't do that, but you know, just something you can play with. One thing that I do love though, which seems to be kind of downplayed because of the clutch, is the rubber texturized side grips.
They feel nice.
They feel very nice. I love this. It's really, really nice. I think these will get kind of dirty over time, but they are very, very comfortable to hold for a long period. Also, it has this nice groove setting for your thumb, so it's really nice to sit there with your hand on the mouse for a very long time, and it feels comfortable. It feels kind of ergonomic almost. But the only drawback I can think of is that it doesn't include any weights to change the weight of the mouse, so you are stuck with 107 grams. That's all you get. I used to have an older mouse that did have weights, and I really liked being able to increase the weight on my mouse because I like a heavier mouse.
I feel like a lot of the gaming mice are moving away from the crazy adjustable weight systems.
They are,
because we're seeing more and more.
I've seen a lot of lightweight mices lately. Mouses.
Mouses.
Or mice. Yeah, it depends. It doesn't matter. But yeah, so it's a really nice mouse. It's nice and smooth on the bottom, so it's not going to get stuck on your mouse pad or anything like that. And I think it's really great for FPS gaming, especially if you're a DPI person like I am. I'm obsessed with DPI. If you are too and you're looking for a mouse, I highly suggest this one. It's brand new, so I've only had it for a couple of weeks, so I can't tell you how long it will last, but I can tell you from my current experiences so far, I'm very, very satisfied with my purchase.
It feels lovely.
I'm like screwing up my computer over here by playing with my mouse.
Ask@TekThing.com. We love your questions. If you hate email, you can tweet at TekThing, at Snubs, or at Patrick Norton. And hey, if you could spare a moment or two to give our video the thumbs up on YouTube, like our Facebook page, or tell a friend about the show, we would be grateful. And as always, Patreon.com/TekThing is your way to help keep the show ad-free and get your eyes and ears on special content that only goes out to our Patreons at Patreon.com/TekThing. Thank you so much for supporting the show, no matter how you do it.
Equifax got equi-hacked.
That's awful.
If you didn't hear about it already, check out my episode of ThreatWire from Tuesday. I went over all of the gory details there, all the drama, over at youtube.com/hack5, HAK5.
Equifax is one of the big reporting bureaus. There's basically 3 of them, and they hold a lot of personal data about U.S. citizens.
Oh, yeah.
They were hacked over the summer, totaling something like, let's call it 143 million customers' data having been leaked.
That equates to almost half of the U.S. population. So it's pretty bad.
If we apply the the hacker's law of accelerated abuses, it always seems like there's we 12 people. We'll actually revised total is 243. We'll make that 148 billion people. I'm kidding, but this is a big deal, right?
It is.
Names, social security numbers, date of birth, addresses, credit card numbers, and it's scary.
Rightfully so, yeah. But you can protect yourself as a consumer, and there are some steps that you can take. First off, I would say sign up for their free credit monitoring, but apparently, as of Tuesday morning, I believe, their credit monitoring website is full of vulnerabilities that some people have found. So apparently you can do some cross-site scripting vulnerabilities on there, which would make somebody think that they're putting in their data to the actual Equifax website, but they're actually putting it into a fake system. So instead, maybe try calling them. Hopefully they aren't using the same site to sign people up over the phone.
Yeah, the whole
ridiculous.
This whole Equifax thing has been sort of
wow.
Yeah, listening to the reporting on this has been people are uncovering one giant flaw or mistake or new security vulnerability or problem.
It gets worse and worse.
Yeah.
But either way, Equifax's product, it's called Trust ID, is a credit monitoring account that's free for 1 year due to the hack. It'll alert you if anybody opens accounts in your name. It can lock your report, and it includes identity theft insurance. So all of those are really important things to have set up on your accounts.
I'm going to say, for me, number 2, go straight to the nuclear deterrent. Check your credit reports, then head straight to a credit freeze. This is a wonderful article, consumer.ftc.gov, on credit freeze. It's the FAQ from them. Basically, a credit freeze or security freeze locks down access to your credit report until you unfreeze it.
Right.
So basically, you keep it locked. You're like, I'm going to buy a new car, and then you unfreeze it so that you can basically have everybody look at your credit information to make loan offers to you, or a mortgage, or a new credit card. But other than that, you leave it locked down. Equifax, after incredible amounts of howling by the public, is waiving the fees to get a credit freeze for 30 days. It is about as secure as you can make this information in terms of the credit reporting system, and we have talked about how to do this in one of our previous episodes, our previous episodes, and we've got a link to that in the show notes.
Yeah, it was our 3 hot security tips episode back when my hair was blonde.
That was a long time ago.
That was a very long time ago. Another thing you can do is place a fraud alert via the FTC website. So they have steps on how to set up fraud alerts, and these basically do the same thing where they alert you if there is any kind of fraud happening in your name. So it's a very good thing to look into if you want to set that up. And also use good internet hygiene. I know we say it again and again and again, and hopefully by repeating it many times, our entire viewership base will do all these things.
And all of their friends and family.
Yes, all friends and family. So keep an eye out for phishing emails, fishy websites, use different passwords on all your websites, plus 2-factor authentication whenever you can. I know not everybody uses 2FA, but you can set it up if it's available to you. All very important things.
Call your parents, call the friends you do tech sports for, and say, hey, if you get an email from Equifax, don't click on the link in the email.
Right.
Go to the website, type in the website directly, and get the, or do a Google search and get the actual legitimate result. Just to save yourself some incredible amounts of cleanup in the near future.
If you do end up getting your identity stolen, hopefully it never happens. You're not doomed.
You're doomed.
It's going to be a huge headache when it does happen, and it might cost some money too. So what you want to do is go over to identitytheft.gov. If you do end up being a victim of identity theft, use this site to figure out what to do, and they'll go through all the different steps to help you out and assist with any issues that you might run into. So all good websites to bookmark if this ever happens, and definitely look into the credit freeze. I think that's the most important thing here.
Yeah, and hopefully you do not get hit. Good luck.
Good luck.
Lance writes, why does Mac have no issues with exFAT formatted drives, but Linux does? Well, Lance, you know, in theory, right, you can get Linux to read exFAT drives. You can get Linux to write exFAT drives, which is important because so many of the drives out there are formatted by exFAT because Windows is the 10,000-pound monster of removable drives, thumb drives.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah, so Linux can read them if you get Fuse from your favorite package manager. And since you're the Linux person, do you want to read the sudo apt-get install exFAT fuse exFAT utils?
I'll actually type it in for you so you can just pause the video and type it in. It's going to be sudo apt-get install, and I will zoom in on this for y'all, exFAT-fuse space exFAT -utils. So what is that doing? It's logging you in as sudo, which is basically root. apt-get install is going to install. exFAT fuse is the first package that you want to install, and then exFAT utils is the second one that will install. Luckily, both of these will install at the same time during that one command, and that should get you ready so that you can work with exFAT. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if you're wondering why Linux doesn't have exFAT built into the kernel, it's really about licensing.
Yay.
According to Wikipedia, Microsoft has not officially released the complete exFAT file system specifications, and a restrictive license from Microsoft is required in order to make and distribute exFAT implementations.
Go figure. And there's also a really great write-up too if you are interested in formatting a universal drive into exFAT. Matthew.computerwiz.net. I love this website, by the way. I just found it. Great job, Matthew. He has some great instructions on how to create a universal exFAT drive on a Linux machine. And he also includes all of the different commands that you need down here.
And it's a really lovely walk through sort of what's going on and why.
Yes.
So
definitely read up on that and let us know if you have any other troubles. I use Linux almost every single day here in the office, especially when I'm doing Hack 5 shows, so I can definitely help you out with any Linux questions that you might have out there. So I hope this makes your universal USB drives more universal as they should be in the first place.
Yeah. And until Microsoft opens up exFAT or the world figures out a way to move on from exFAT, Linux is going to continue to have issues unless you install Fuse. So just install Fuse.
Another thing that I wanted to talk about today is the google.org/crisis map, and super pro shout out to Jason, one of my coworkers, because this is awesome, and he just told me about this the other day when he was looking up information for some of his family in Florida for the hurricane. So if you check it out, google.org/crisis map has a whole bunch of different layers, and you can see what is going on in your area, at least in the United States, as far as things that might be affecting you. So if you scroll into Florida, for example, the other day, this area was entirely a dark red color. If I go over to California, where we are, you can see this area up here this is a fire that's currently happening.
Well, if you click on it, right, it'll tell you what's going on in that area.
Red flag fire weather warning in Southwest Oregon. So you can find a lot of really good details about what is happening in your area. Additionally, and this is great, you can also add other layers. So if I want to see precipitation in the area, I can turn that on and I can lower it or make it more visible. I can also include things like air quality, so I can turn that off or on and then include different air quality information. Wildfire preparedness. So there's a bunch of different layers that you can tack on to here, basically depending on where you live and what kind of information you want. I think it was an excellent web page, and it's based on Google Maps, so it's very, very easy to use as well.
And if you take they actually do, like, it seems to be global.
Oh, awesome.
Like Australia,
yeah, you have the hurricane information going on yours.
I just started checking everything.
Oh, perfect.
All the panic.
Yeah, I love that it shows you, too, the hurricane routes, so you can see which area they're most
likely to stomp on.
Most likely to end up in, yeah. Really good info. So thank you, Jason.
Air quality alert in Dallas-Fort Worth. Air quality alert from Maricopa County, Arizona.
Yeah.
Special weather statement in western Wyoming. I've never seen a special weather statement before.
It's really cool. So we'll put the link to that in the show notes. What is the special weather statement?
Major change to colder and wet conditions Thursday night through Saturday. Significant mountain snow possible Friday into Saturday.
Yeah, it's basically the same kind of warning you would get on the Weather Channel.
A cold storm system over the Gulf of Alaska will drop southeast into the Great Basin later Thursday into Friday and swing east. Man.
That's cool.
Snow in the peaks in Wyoming in early September.
All right, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up because apparently my throat is giving out on me. I guess cat dander is bothering me. I'm like,
shedding cats. So remember, ladies and gentlemen, once in a while, put down the phone, step away from the screen, close the laptop, and do something analog, like Stu, who writes, for our analog non-digital downtime for the week, we went skydiving. Here is a great picture of me just 24 hours before the eclipse. Might be a great thing to do during the eclipse. We did it in Boulder, Nevada with Skydive Las Vegas. This was a second or two after the jump, as you can see by the plane in the background.
Wow.
Have a great day.
That is so cool.
That is so brave. I am totally down with learning how to skydive. I am utterly terrified at tandem diving.
I'm not. I want to do it. I want to take my GoPro, I want to record the whole thing, and then put up a video.
I don't want to be strapped to another human being when I jump out of the plane.
I do, as long as they're cute.
Boom. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Patrick Orton.
I'm Shannon Morse.
We'll see you next week on TekThing. And you're going to Mouseketeerland tonight.
I am. I'm going to Disneyland tonight for 2 days for my friend's birthday. I'm so excited.
Yay!
Yay!
You're going to get the e-ticket rides?
Most likely, yeah. That's probably what we'll do. I
I've seen
figured
this,
out
like,
a hack.
It's like scheduling now, so you can figure out how to get into the lines or have it be automatically waited for.
Yeah, it's pretty hardcore. Like they have little systems, and you go to the system and you put in your ticket that you use to get into the park. Then it poops out a little thingy that you carry around with you all day, and then you go back to the ride whenever it tells you to go back to the ride, and then you give it to a person and they scan it and then they let you in.
Is it like a paper ticket, or is it like one of those things you get at a restaurant?
It's a paper thing.
Okay, so it's not like a pager.
It'd be fun if it was a pager. That'd be hilarious. Take those on all the rides and they'd be lost everywhere.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, I would love to go skydiving. My mom went skydiving before I was born, and she has a picture in her house.
Whoa.
It was really cool. And every time I look at it, I'm like, man, my mom's so brave. She's so amazing. So cool.